Hello, my name is Alan. I'm an Angular, GDE, a Microsoft MVP in web technologies, and I'll be speaking at Frontend Nation Angular Day. And my talk is going to be about server-side rendering with Angular. So we'll see the basics, how to get started with server-side rendering, why it's important, how it helps your applications, and basically cover everything you need to know about that topic. So it should be pretty fun. A packed 30 minutes of information. So feel free to come over and attend this talk. So I started with Angular a long time ago. I think version 1.0 was not even released when I started. So it evolved a lot. And I've seen all of the different releases. So, at the beginning, we didn't have TypeScript. We didn't have RxJS or Signals or anything like that. So when I started, I think even promises were not part of the JavaScript language. And it was kind of something that AngularJS brought to the table and made it more standard. So long time ago. I've seen everything. So Angular feature I can't live without. I would say it's pretty recent, but signals are such a game changer that I just use them everywhere now. And I would have a hard time removing them for sure. So what's really exciting about Angular's future is that I think the framework is in a place where it has never been before. And it's exciting because, in the past, people thought, Angular is dead, Angular is going away, other technologies are better or taking its place and whatever. But what's happening now is actually quite the opposite. And Google has never been more involved in Angular than they are now. And for instance, Angular signals are used on YouTube everywhere. And so we can really imagine a future where a few years from now, Angular is going to be used everywhere at Google, including Google Search and all of the big products that are used by millions and millions of people every day. So I think Angular is a great place and it's getting better and better day after day. So that's great. So I'm thinking about the new resource APIs, and I wouldn't say they're underrated. They're still in, developer preview experimental status, so we're not supposed to use them in production just yet. But I think it's really something people should look at, especially if they're about to start a project or they're about to update a project, upgrade it to the latest version. Take a look at resources, especially the brand new HTTP resource, because you can replace a lot of complexity that you have in your code with using those and just having signals everywhere instead of RxJS and operators. So that's really something exciting to follow, take a look and give it a try because it can be another game changer, I think. So my number one trick to effectively use Angular today, I would say one of the things about Angular that maybe is not common to all of the other frameworks and libraries we have out there is that it evolves very quickly and there's always new things happening. There's always new features being released and the release schedule is very aggressive, I would say. Minor versions happen every month pretty much and major versions every 6 months. So there's always new stuff going on. And just in the past 2 years, there's been so much being released that, my advice would be try to follow some blog or newsletter or stay involved in the community so you know what's going on. Because even if you don't do that for 6 months or 1 year, you're going to be missing on so much. So staying up to date is really the trick here. Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. And I've been in tech since a very long time. Basically, I did all of my university studies and my career in tech. So it's hard to imagine a life without tech now. But something I've been toying with in the past was photography. So, I love landscape photography and stuff. So I've been doing that for quite a while and posting pictures online and everything. And another thing that maybe could be of interest is writing. I've been considering writing fiction or non-fiction books. But this is still not even a work in progress, just something I dream about. So I think my number one non-technical skill is that I'm an introvert. I used to be really, really shy when I was a kid, meaning, if I was in a group of people, I would not be speaking. I would just be quiet and be listening. And that's a key skill. The key skill is to be quiet and just listen and learn from what you listen. This has helped me over and over again in my career because I've been teaching Angular and web development for years, right? And when you teach classes, you get questions all the time and you have people talking about the technology and everything. So listening and basically getting that feedback and using it to improve my content or, anticipate what kind of questions people are going to ask the next time and these sort of things really helped me a lot in my career because I improved my content, improved my public speaking, improved pretty much every single aspect of what I do just by being, always present and listening and being aware of all that feedback I could get whenever I could get it. So, yeah. The best piece of career advice I've ever received. I think one of the things that took me a lot of time to understand is that, you just have to try things out. And it's better to ask for forgiveness rather than ask for permission. So, try something. And then if you were not supposed to do it, then, apologize for doing it. But, taking some risk, being more brave, I guess, and not just thinking, I'm just going to do it the regular way and go with the flow, being more willing to explore and try new things, new technologies, learn new stuff. I think it's something that's very important, especially today in tech where, we have AI, we have all of these things that we don't know where they're going. And people think, maybe AI is going to take over my job and all of that. One of the ways we can make ourselves unique and different is by, having a diverse background, always be learning, always having more, topics you can talk about and be aware of all of the technologies that are going on. So always being learning, trying new stuff, practicing, exploring. I think this goes a very long way. So that's what I would recommend. Yeah. So entertainment, I think it would be video games. So I'm usually pretty disciplined and everything. TV, I'm not watching TV unless it's the evening and the kids are in bed and everything. So I'm very disciplined about that. But video games, not so much. So video games, if I start playing, I could realize 3-4 hours later that I'm still playing. So that would be the one thing. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a tricky one because I think we really learn from experience. And the thing is, you can read all of the books you want. You can watch all of the documentaries about successful people and whatever. Getting that advice really works once you've experienced it, made a mistake, and then you realize, that's why all these people say do this and not that. So the thing is, I don't believe in, giving advice up front or talking to my past self and say, you should have done things differently. Because the thing is, unless you make the mistakes, you don't really learn anyways. So I wouldn't change anything in my past, even if sometimes things took longer than expected. In the end, I think it was necessary. So yeah, I wouldn't give any advice. Just keep going, be persistent. Mistakes are okay if you learn from them. And that's just how life is. You can't succeed on the first attempt. Otherwise, it would not be fun and it would be even boring, right?